And it rims out. Mutombo and Mourning clearing out. Mourning with his first rebound. Bryant has his pocket picked by King Rice.
2 turnovers in a row by Georgetown, trying to get their half-court offense going.
Chilcutt
tough luck. He's 0 for 2, and both of them have been right on that basket.
Mutombo retrieving it. Bryant, who's been sizzling from the perimeter of late, finds Jefferson.
Jefferson, a defensive player, Tim, gives him great size.
Chilcutt out ahead of the pack. End to end, but neither have scratched in the first minute's play. Tillman's
got to be the big scorer. He's an explosive player. 2 years ago, he scored 35 on this floor against Seton Hall.
Rice, foul, Jefferson in position to pick it up.
I think when we look at all the stars on the floor and we talk about Mourning and 42, Scott Williams, the key player tonight for North Carolina, for them to have a chance to win, will be the play of King Rice. He has to distribute the basketball and handle the relentless pressure of Georgetown.
Alonzo Mourning got the foul rather than Jefferson, surprising John Thompson. And it's out of bounds to Georgetown as Madden tried to go baseline.
Sloppy play thus far to start the game. You know, you mentioned Mourning getting that foul as we look at the heavyweight champ, John Thompson, among the coaches. Mourning's had a history of foul trouble. Look at a turnover.
Bryant turned it over. Well, they've been anticipating this game throughout the challenge week, and there really is some pride at stake here. I mean, Georgetown must win for the Big East to end in a 4-4 tie, and I'm sure that's on the minds of the players as well as how good the opposition is.
Take a look at King Rice right now being played by Bryant. Bryant, a tough defender.
Williams using his speed over Mutombo, but he swats it away. And that's one for rejection roll.
They get those hands up.
Rice. Williams will follow.
North Carolina has the front four that's capable of challenging the Georgetown front court. Scott Williams had an appendix operation. Still doesn't have his stamina and strength.
Mourning to a wide open Jefferson.
They're going to let Jefferson shoot that all day.
Alonzo with a foul apparently on the backside from Rick Fox. Our officials, Mickey Crowley along with John Clockerty and Donnie Gray. 2 very experienced officials, with Donnie Gray, who's been in the Big East and ACC just over a year.
Wayne Bryant goes out of the game. David Edwards, a kid from out of New York City, a freshman with ultra quickness, averaged 41 points a game in high school.
Mourning leaning over Madden. Chilcutt with Jefferson's body on his back, and the foul, the end result.
Tim, when you think of Georgetown, they excel in 2 areas, which makes it so difficult for you to beat them. Number one, they live off their defensive pressure, which creates easy layups. John Thompson's a master getting the athlete that can pressure. And number 2, they live off the offensive rebound, a la Louisville.
Rice trying to dribble through a triple team. Finds Chilcutt.
Chilcutt posts to the open area of the floor. Now watch Carolina run their passing game against the man-to-man defense. Pass and go away. Trying to set a lot of screens to free people inside.
Rice
what a nice
Chilcutt
pass.
And a foul. Edwards, who just clocked into the game, David Edwards, may be in position to pick it up. John Thompson already giving Mickey Crowley some lip.
You know, King Rice has really played some good basketball this year. He really gets rated too many times with all those other great guards that had in North Carolina, the Phil Fords and the Kenny Smiths. He just doesn't possess that kind of game and speed.
Well, now they give it to Jefferson rather than Edwards. And Jefferson has 2, and so that means Michael Tate will come into the game as Jefferson sits down.
Tate has the potential to be a big-time scorer. Signed originally with Maryland, got a release from Maryland, joined the Hoyas after Bob Wade was let go. He had knee surgery, Tim, this summer. Georgetown zoning right now, came out of the man-to-man.
Rice is free. Tipped up, and Williams gets the hoop.
Williams very active inside. A lot of NBA scouts here laying eyes on Scott Williams. He also has a history of getting into foul trouble.
Both of these teams will go deep into their bench, and Fox gets the turnover. Boy, how many times would you see a Carolina or Georgetown team make these kinds of mistakes in the open court?
Well, they're feeling the intensity of all the build-up of this matchup. There's a guy with an unbelievable record, the winningest coach in basketball today. The thing that impresses me, 9 consecutive years, they've been rated in the top 10 in America in the final polls. That's an unbelievable achievement.
Team looks relaxed for the moment, and now both Rice and Tillman, captains on the floor with John Clougherty talking with them.
John Clougherty had the final game last year in the NCAA championship game. He made that call at the end of the game, which put Ramil Robinson on a free throw line, which I thought was a solid call.
Dwayne Bryant back in the game. Mark Tillman sitting down for Georgetown. Mourning. Oh, with Chilcutt getting a piece of it, he knocked it home, and it's a 4-2 game. 4-4 game, I beg your pardon.
Alonzo real strong down in the boxes.
Well, another near steal. Williams.
Oh, baby, Jump City. Mutombo, part of the M&M gang. Last summer, John went out with Red Auerbach, his former coach. Here's Mutombo rotating over. Zaire, there he is with the block. He says, no, baby, don't bring it in this lane, Scott. But he went out with Red Auerbach, and he says, Red, you know, I didn't play Mutombo and Mourning together last year. He says, yeah, and all the other coaches like it. Get them together. And here they are, playing together. 2-3 zone.
Fox for 3. And again, a foul.
Fox has good inside-outside ability. Came from the Bahamas. Went to high school his last year over in Warsaw, Indiana.
Michael Tate picked up the foul, the freshman from Oxon Hill, Maryland. And Fox will go to the line.
He's got a lot of quickness, Fox. When you look at his upper body, you wouldn't think so, and his heavy legs. But I'll tell you something, he's got some good quickness.
He's been a bit inconsistent this year. Chilcutt coming over to talk with Dean Smith as Madden comes back in. Fox needs to be more consistent down low, and of course, if you add that to King Rice stepping up his offense, the Carolina look will change as we head into January. It has been a rough go schedule-wise for the Tar Heels. Iowa yet to be played in the next week, and of course, you take the Alabama loss, which was on ESPN earlier, and a trip to Maui that was challenging in many respects. 5-4, North Carolina.
Rice played against a little quick Edwards. He's a quick, driving, slashing player.
And he draws the foul. Madden picking it up.
He averaged 41 points a game, Edwards, in high school. That's an amazing number as you look at Kevin Madden, a good, strong, low-post player. Rotates from the guard to the baseline. Take a look at Edwards' speed right now. He looks like King Rice, little shake and bake, change of direction, goes down the lane.
And Mutombo, as we come back to live action, got a jam.
They're going to be tough inside with the M&M gang. Mutombo and Mourning.
Williams. Alonzo Mourning rips it down.
This is Georgetown's game. Push it up the floor. Look at this little shake and bake move, baby.
Oh, Edwards.
Oh, little showtime, party time.
Get back on defense, though, as Williams counters.
Well, what happened, Edwards penetrated and nobody covered for him and rotated back. There's a push-off.
Against Williams.
They get the call. No, not against Williams.
No. It appeared that it would be against Williams.
I thought it was on Tate.
Yeah, it was against Tate. You're right. It's his second. Georgetown with a 1-point lead.
We're going to watch the big guy inside now get free as we watch Georgetown rotate the ball over. They spot the big guy, Mutombo. There he is. He's going to become more offensive-minded this year for Georgetown. Last year was a feeling-out process.
There's a steal. Bryant to Bell.
There's going to be all kinds of Jam City. There's Bell, little ding-dong Bell, taking it to the goal.
Sophomore from Richmond, Virginia, just into the game and into the scoring column.
He's got
Madden picked up his feet. John Clougherty on top of it.
That's the intimidation city of the shot blockers of rejection row. Milton Bell could be a special player for Georgetown at their small forward slot. He's got great jumping ability. He had some good moments last year when they utilized him.
3 of 11, the Tar Heels, and Scott Williams has 6 of their 7 points. Davis got a hand on that, and it's ripped out of there by George Lynch. Both of these teams, Dick, will go deep into their bench. I mean, we will be busy charting new players in this game. Winstrom also in the game, bodying up against Mourning down on the blocks. That's Davis is free. Lynch keeping it alive for Carolina.
He's a great rebounder. Lynch is one of the premier rebounders for the freshman class in high school. He dominated as a rebounder. Played at Flint Hill Prep, played with Aaron Bain.
You see Tillman coming back into the game, and that's the thing about Smith and Thompson that's so similar. I mean, they will play 11, 12 guys all the way into February.
So they feel, if we give you a scholarship, why shouldn't we play it? Unbelievable layup, Jam City. Uh-oh. Good night. High riser.
They can do it in spurts. And how many times does Georgetown beat you with defense turning in their offense?
That's their whole game. Pressure defensively, get into transition, utilize their athletic ability.
That Winston, number 55, now flashing down low after the pass. Madden is free.
It's tough to score in that lane, Tim. You're always anticipating the shot block. You're always anticipating the rejection.
Scott Williams returning, and Winstrom going to the bench. Just a quick blow for Scott.
Last year they blocked 309 shots as a team. The previous record was 233. The Naval Academy. David Robinson was there. Actually, David had 209 of the 233.
Mourning with the jump hook. And here comes Lynch the other way. Madden is free for three.
That's part of their transition game, the secondary phase of it. Reverse the ball to the foul line. Georgetown has better quickness than North Carolina. That's one of their deficient areas, team quickness.
And now Georgetown sets up on a half-court offense. We've rarely seen that tonight.
They don't excel in their half-court offense. They're a better open court team, a better transition team than they are a 5-on-5 team.
And again, you'll hear the horn a lot. Fox coming in for Carolina. Anthony Allen, number 24 for Georgetown. And Alonzo Mourning sitting down. This is the first time Alonzo's been back in this arena since the loss to Duke, and that was clearly his only game that was not a good game a year ago. I mean, he really struggled against Duke.
Christian Laettner was brilliant. Christian Laettner, as we look at King Rice, had the big game in that game, dominated, and was sensational.
King Rice sitting down. Jeff Denny into the game.
It's the way you find out what kind of team you are playing these kind of games. Georgetown will find out tonight how good they basically are going to be.
Bell. Lynch with the long rebound for North Carolina.
He just loves to rebound, Tim. He goes after every ball. He has great lateral rebounding ability.
Williams. Jammed home by Lynch.
Lynch. He just goes after every rebound. He's like that Moses Malone, a mini version.
Tillman, count it, and the foul.
He's going to have a big year this year. He's going to score a lot of points for the Hoyas. Tillman had a back problem last year, played behind Charlie Smith and Dwayne Bryant. 2 years ago, he was a starter.
Hubert Davis got the foul.
Edwards getting a lot of PT right now. Rotates the ball over, backdoor cut. Nice backdoor cut by Tillman.
And the foul against Tillman. They reversed the call, not a defensive foul, so he picks up the charge, but does get the hoop. 14-9 our score with 12:37 remaining in the first half.
Half-court trap, turnover.
Boy, how many times has Dean Smith seen this in the first few moments? Chilcutt, that time guilty.
Well, if you take a look at North Carolina, Tim, they're not strong in a perimeter in their backcourt play. They have King Rice, but they really not the solid backcourt play that they've had over the years.
Look at the fast break points. Hoyas clearly dominant there as they usually are. Mourning with the left hand.
Utilizing either hand inside. There they are in the offensive boards.
And Scott Williams rips it down.
Scott playing well, really active inside. See, there's the trail man. They reverse it as part of the secondary phase of their running game.
Another steal. This one by Bryant.
Quickness. Bryant played really well for the Big East All-Star team, coached by Paul Evans. He averaged 18 points a game. They played in France.
And Donnie Gray on top of another turnover. Rick Fox Out of bounds.
You know, a problem they had with quickness against Alabama, and they're having that same problem tonight.
16-9, the Hoyas lead. Bowl week is special, but so too has been this ACC challenge. Tim Randall along with Dick Vitale, the ACC Big East Challenge, culminating with the Hoyas and the Tar Heels. And it's been all Georgetown so far. 16 points scored and 6 Hoyas already in the column. They spread it out. Ronnie Thompson's now in the game, the coach's son, number 30 for Georgetown. Tillman's shot is too strong, and King Rice releases for North Carolina.
They need King Rice on the floor. Every time he's on the sideline, we see turnover city.
Chilcutt is loose, and the rainbow drops through.
One of the courageous players in college basketball, playing with one kidney, Peter Chilcutt from out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Ronnie Thompson.
He's not wasting time shooting the ball, Ronnie. He played at Flint Hill as well. Oh, nice pass.
Yeah, and Ronnie Thompson got in the way of it on the defensive end, but does pick up the foul.
Ronnie, a good defensive player, really played excellent for Stu Vetter down with Flint Hill.
Georgetown on the press, and the turnovers the end result. And the points, well, they'll come.
Well, you see 2 points right now, 4 possessions North Carolina's had versus that press, and they've turned it over 75% of the time. And you're not going to win basketball games unless you're going to be able to handle the Georgetown pressure. Fox nonchalant at that layup, should have taken the ball up strong. You know, you mentioned strong schedules. You alluded to it a little bit earlier. Mike Duchamp does a great job in Sporting News. In the latest issue, has the round ball schedule aptitude test. And number 1, he rates Louisville, and 2, North Carolina as the toughest. And then he says the Patsy Parade, you got to talk about. Number 1, he talks Arkansas and Clemson, and then Georgetown.
Lynch got a hand on that one, knocking it out. It will be controlled to Georgetown. You look at some NBA scores, Sports Center to follow later tonight. Lee and Dan Patrick to bring you up to date on all of that.
Mention the NBA night off. Patrick Ewing is here tonight, former Georgetown Hoya.
Thompson trying to run it down, and it'll go over to North Carolina. Jeff Denny over there in hot pursuit to keep it alive for the Tar Heels.
Jeff Denny really got potential to shoot the basketball.
16-13. North Carolina trying to chip away. Georgetown has had defensive pressure, but Lynch now really making his presence felt, and the Tar Heel faithful come alive.
George Lynch is going to be an outstanding player for North Carolina.
Alonzo Mourning uses the glass.
Nice soft touch by Alonzo. He's better offensively than a lot of people really give him credit to be.
19-14 Georgetown. Lynch over Mutombo. Madden with good position against Mourning.
Oh,
and
nice
Lynch
pass.
Is free.
Lynch really active offensively, but that was created on the interior pass by Rick Fox.
18-17, so the Hoyas lead cut to 1. Oh, behind the back, Edwards to Mutombo.
What a great two-man play. They're going to love little David Edwards. He's going to be a special player. Great two-man play. Hey, Mutombo really now has learned how to flash to the ball.
Well, you knew with John Thompson it was only a matter of time.
I like this little guy. He makes things happen on the floor. 40. Well, look at a little shake and bake. Little stutter step. Oh, yeah, turned it over.
And now Madden moving.
I did a 720. I'm liking him. I want to go back around the other way and say I didn't like that play.
Lynch over Mourning. You could question that decision, but that's his first miss from the floor. Ronnie Thompson. A near air ball as Denny runs it down for North Carolina.
Ronnie getting some quality time now. Georgetown rotating into the zone.
That's Denny's specialty, hitting the three-pointer.
He's a specialist. He's a good shooter.
North Carolina has the lead, or tie it, I should say, 20-20.
Man-to-man defense right now. King Rice has got the challenge of playing the little guy Edwards. Inside matchups, size advantage, Georgetown.
Oh, Mourning just lost that one.
And he's called for a foul on a backcourt. No, they get a foul on, is it Denny?
Yeah, I think Denny picked up the foul. And a late call, and Dean Smith's giving some lip. That's the second foul against Denny.
John Thompson talking to his little guard, Edwards.
Well, they are giving the foul to the Georgetown side. North Carolina will get it.
John doesn't like these kind of games in the month of December. He said we have enough tough games in January, February, and March. That's his philosophy. I don't agree with it, but again, he runs his program, and who could disagree with the success he's had?
He's one of the few people that voiced some opposition to the ACC Big East Challenge, and Dean Smith was the other. You look at Dean's schedule and you can understand his point with the people he's played, but not necessarily with John Thompson's schedule coming in here.
Well, Dean has Iowa, as you mentioned, on Saturday. You know, you take a look, we talked about Duke, they play Syracuse, now they have a date with Michigan. To me, that's the way the teams develop, and that's what the players want, the fans want it. But you know, John Thompson, the one thing as we look at Dean Smith has been a master in terms of motivating, communicating to his players, the team concept. John Thompson, to me, the one thing I respect the most, he's not afraid to give his opinion. You may not agree with it, but he's not afraid to lay down what he believes.
North Carolina with the lead. They're on a 13-4 run the last 2.5 minutes.
They changed to the zone.
And now Rice is loose again. He goes up high, and you can tell he saw Mutombo coming, and that affected the arch on that shot.
They change a lot of shots. They not only block shots, they change. Great move. Tillman, acrobatic. Well, is he going to have a big year scoring this year, Tim? As I said, he's explosive. Had 35 2 years ago against Seton Hall, right on his floor. 8 points thus far. Henrik Rodel is in the game now for North Carolina, number 5 in white. Good move by Williams. Quick drop step. The jump ball goes back to Georgetown. Possession arrow on their side. And we are tied at 22. It is December, but it's heating up in Byrne Arena. Sets up this pass. Here comes Edwards. This is not just show business. That's a legitimate pass. He had great communication. He read with his eyes. Mutombo flashed to the box, and he protected the ball and sealed it off with his body.
We're tied at 22, and Tillman has 10, and the Hoyas lead again by 2.
Tillman's going to have a big year. He's got a license to shoot the ball.
Madden, and again Mutombo on the mine.
Madden's been very quiet.
And Mark Tillman counters.
See, Tillman right now has the freedom, the confidence, the license to shoot it, a la Charlie Smith, now playing with the Boston Celtics.
Mark Tillman with 12 of the 26 for Georgetown. They lead again by 4.
A great confidence builder when a coach tells you you have the liberty to shoot the basketball if you have an open shot.
Williams with Allen and Mutombo in front of him, and Antoine Stoudemire with the rebound.
Stoudemire is an excellent shooter out of Portland, Oregon, a three-point shooter.
Bryant. Well, they just shoot it and then go up for it. Stoudemire right on cue from the coach. 27, 29, 22.
He's a specialist. He's a jump shooter. Recruited from out of Portland, Oregon. North Carolina needs a score here to quiet down this run by Georgetown, a very spurt-oriented team.
Both teams have used 10 players. So 20 different guys have been on the hardwood in the first 13 minutes of this game.
I can't get over the improvement of Mutombo. He just seems to have a better feel for the game.
Chilcutt, Madden, skying with the big people, and a foul underneath.
Madden gets good offensive rebounding position. Big, strong guard. He's got the great body. He's almost like a baseline player more than he's a perimeter player.
Bryant getting his first foul. And again, mass substitutions as Allen and Tillman go out of the game. And even more come in for Georgetown. Mike Sable in the game, sophomore from Washington, D.C., and Fox and Chilcutt sitting down. Sounds like a bus station with horns going off as Continental Trailways takes off. They just keep moving them in.
It's going to be a war in the Big East. Syracuse and Georgetown are going to have some real Donniebrooks. And you got to give the edge. I'd give the edge right now to Georgetown because of real, true guard play versus an adjustment of an athlete who's a wing player trying to make that adjustment to play the point in Stevie Thompson.
Ronnie Thompson with the rebound for Georgetown. Thompson again.
He's not afraid to shoot it. That's his fourth shots. He's coming on the floor. Good baseline drive by the coach's son. 31-23. The Hoyas lead back out to 8.
Lynch.
He's been impressive. Has he been impressive? You talk about a diaper dandy.
From Roanoke, Virginia. Thompson throwing it up in a hurry, and Lynch running it down.
I can't get over the way Thompson is shooting the basketball. He's already shot it 5 times, I believe, since coming on the floor.
Right, he's 1 for 5. Chilcutt. Can't get it to go, and Mutombo was out of bounds. North Carolina will trigger it in. You know, you look at this, Dick, and we've seen the ebb and flow of this game change. Williams and Fox now re-entering. I sometimes believe both Thompson and Dean Smith understand that, particularly early in the season, they may lose momentum in a game simply because they're juggling that lineup, experimenting, looking at their team. It's the system of both, as you see Tillman with 12 and Lynch with 8, but that's why we see the flow of the game change.
Well, that's the key word. John Thompson's philosophy of playing the Hawaii Loas, the Mias, the Mayas, the Gias, or whatever they are from Hawaii, is that he believes in experimentation, and he wants to experiment to find combinations for the regular season, the Big East.
Williams, baseline. Fox went up the back of Tillman. No basket. And Mark Tillman clearly had position. Donnie Gray there to make the call.
Yeah, Rick Fox just simply tried to run over the top of him. Watch the weak side. Now watch the help side. This is the weak side. Here's the inside position to Tillman. Now watch this. There it is, right over the top, number 44.
That's the 3rd foul against Fox, and that's big with 5:33 remaining in the first half.
Now he's a heady kid, an intelligent player. Why would he try to make that kind of play knowing he has 2 fouls and we're in the first half and pick up number 3? Not a smart play by Rick Fox.
Well, that's the consistency factor we were speaking of earlier. Now Stoudemire takes advantage. Madden released, and there goes Dikembe.
Dikembe Mutombo, what a star he's going to be. He's just learning how to play the game of basketball.
Rice
changed that shot. Mutombo changed that one.
Sable made a mistake. Madden made him pay for it.
Sable, a tough, hard-nosed player.
Lynch draws the foul.
Lynch is not intimidated at all. He's not intimidated at all.
The thing about George Lynch as we watch this game develop is that other than perhaps Madden on the floor, you don't have another player on the court that is as quick off the floor as the Georgetown 5 at any given time. He does get off as quickly as Georgetown.
There's really no substitute for quickness and jumping ability. When you possess those kind of athletes and you blend them as a unit and you get them to play unselfishly like Georgetown does, you're not going to really lose too many basketball games. They had a great season last year. They came up short in the NCAAs losing to Duke. But you look at the season they had last year, they had a great year. I believe they were like 29-5, 13-3, clinched the Big East early. Won the Big East tournament.
33-26. So 7-point Hoya lead. There's Tillman. Oh, what a nice feed from Dwayne Bryant to set that up along the baseline, and Mark now has 14.
Bryant and Tillman will be one of the premier backcourts in the nation. We know about Corciani and Monroe, Gill and Bardo at Illinois, but this duo can play with the best.
Williams a little outside his usual range on that jump hook. And a turnover walking right in front of John Thompson.
Dickie Crowley looks at the big fella, John. John says, come on now, give me a break. Look at him still. He's pleading, he's praying, he's begging.
He's having a little holiday fun with Mickey now.
He's having a little holiday spirit here.
Chilcutt coming back into the game to replace Lynch.
I think he's going to have a lot of holiday spirit knowing he's got Mutombo and Mourning on the inside.
You bet.
That's frightening.
Lynch going to the bench wearing J.R. Reed's old number 34 for North Carolina.
J.R. grabbing some rebounds down there with the Charlotte Hornets. See how Mutombo stays in the lane, almost like zones in that lane.
Hubert Davis, Chilcutt. Boy, you rarely see that mistake. No one there to block off Pete Chilcutt.
Chilcutt, a good offensive rebounder.
Davis with a near steal.
Oh, there's a push by Williams. Oh, no, they don't nail it. They get Mutombo.
They got Mutombo instead.
And he's communicating, trying to tell the official, wait a minute now. So he can speak 5 languages. I wonder if he laid some French on him.
Dikembe picking up his first foul. You know, he is listed, Mutombo, as a junior. And he is a junior academically, but he does have 2 years of eligibility remaining after this season simply because he had that year's hiatus to learn the English language. He was speaking French, and then he had to learn because the SATs cannot be taken in French.
Right, he couldn't pass the SATs naturally, and they wouldn't allow him to take them in French. And he came over, he was in the language and linguistics school, a very bright, intelligent young man. And also he had a tough time adjusting to the basketball terminology. He's adjusting really fine. John says, just go get the ball.
Ronnie Thompson lighting it up.
Thompson playing with some emotion and some confidence.
He has 4, and again, a 9-point cushion for the Hoyas.
John's got some real bench strength. He could rotate a lot of bodies on the floor. North Carolina trying to operate with that passing game.
Williams, he just forced the turnover, did Mutombo.
Without a doubt. He created that turnover, just his presence on the floor.
Scott Williams rarely intimidated like that. Rejection row does it again. Welcome back to the Brendan Byrne Arena. Tim Brando, Dick Vitale, the ACC Big East Challenge underway. And the Hoyas cracking the press and now losing it as Hubert Davis gets yet another turnover. 37-28 our score. Georgetown by 9. Lynch, boy, get him in the game and something good will happen for Carolina.
He's really been a positive force, shooting the ball on a wing, taking it to the basket and rebounding.
He has 11. They say he's just amazing at having the knack to get to the loose ball, and there he is. That's an example right there.
He plays so hard, too. Really plays intense basketball. You know, Georgetown living off that block shot. There's 3 things that happen when you're blocking shots. You're playing aggressive basketball. 1, you block shots if you're playing hustling basketball. 2, your offensive rebound. And 3, your 4 steals. As we look at the storyline, let you handle it,
Georgetown on a 15-8 run the last 5 minutes, and the turnover is the problem for the Tar Heels. And again, Lynch, without him, they'd really be in trouble. And there's no question that right now, King Rice has not been able to solve the Georgetown pressure.
And they have not been able to solve how to defend Tillman. Tillman, as I talked about earlier, going to have a great year, has 15 points already in the first half.
Jeff Denny coming into the game, and Rice will sit down.
They're really susceptible to pressure with Rice on that sideline. They can't wait to get some of those recruits they got next year. Derek Phelps from out of New York City, Rice to King High School. He can handle the pressure. Cliff Rozier, Ryan Reese, Pat Sullivan. What a class coming into Tar Heel country.
Rodel coming in right now, replacing Hubert Davis. And David Edwards, who averaged the 41 points in high school that we mentioned earlier, will now distribute the ball for Georgetown. They lead by 5.
See, Dean Smith, very smart, knows with this team on the floor, can't man-to-man them, so he zones 2-3.
Anthony Allen over Chilcutt, gets the roll.
Anthony Allen, an experienced big player. He's been around the program for several years.
His playing time has diminished somewhat early in the year simply because of the Mutombo Mourning factor. Different experimentation being done by John Thompson.
Stoudemire, too, can shoot the ball.
Lynch driving the baseline, finding Madden.
What a nice pass by Lynch. Madden unable to catch and convert, gets fouled on a play.
Edwards.
This little guy, John smiled at me over at the Big East meeting of all the coaches when he mentioned his backcourt play. He said, we're going to be good in the backcourt. Not only Tillman and Brank, he means this little guy.
John Thompson got one of the better jobs from his assistants done when he took that walk last year, and Craig Escherick came in for him and did an outstanding job. One of the better assistants that you'll find in college basketball as Dwayne Bryant comes into the game.
Well, his assistants are very loyal to him. Mike Riley and Craig Escherick played at Georgetown University. Tremendous loyalty.
I mean, that's a team that really didn't miss a beat without John Thompson. It was a bold move on his part in that well-documented story that dotted the headlines in college basketball. Carolina rarely with the offensive rebound off the missed free throw.
The flow of the game gives the impression that Georgetown dominated, yet Carolina's hanging right in there.
Edwards.
See, Edwards is prone to the spectacular play. He is prone to making the sensational play, which really is prone to the turnover.
Sam Jefferson now coming in as you look at David Edwards. Anthony Allen sitting down for the Hoyas.
I don't mind a player, though, trying to create action. Kenny Anderson, for example, will turn the ball over down at Georgia Tech because he's not afraid to take a chance. He's not afraid to gamble and make something happen. I mentioned Georgia Tech. Dennis Scott, is he for real?
Again, with Rice out of the lineup, Georgetown goes full court with the 2-2-1 trapping pressure.
Coach B, I like that 2-2-1. Let me be the play-by-play and you handle it.
But you're right. It's just another example of taking
nice
advantage. And there's Roddle and Chilcutt follow.
Roddle with the good backdoor cut. Roddle runs the backdoor cut, but Chilcutt with the good offensive rebound. Not a quick North Carolina team, but they hide that liability by playing his own.
Stoudemire. And Scott Williams hauls it in for Carolina.
Here's Carolina really knocking on the door.
You're right. The flow of this game dictates Georgetown should be ahead by 10. But boy, they can get ahead by 10 so quickly. Edwards with a lane.
See, he's a scoring mentality, and right there he's offensively charging.
John Clockerty gives the indication
no.
that it goes back. No, they are going to call it against Carolina.
I thought he called the charge.
No, he did. He did call the charge. Carolina gets it back.
See, right here, he's trying to create something that's not there. And here's Carolina. Look at Denny rotating over number 3 to take the charge. North Carolina, Notre Dame, Indiana, they do an amazing job of rotating over and taking charges.
And now Sable is back in the game. We've heard that horn a few times here in the first half.
What, 21 players already rotated on the floor?
21 players, Georgetown having used 11. 8 of them have already scored. And Jeff Denny goes to the line.
You know, the 6 foul rule in the Big East certainly will help a guy like Alonzo Mourning, who's foul prone, get more playing time. But I think there's a big adjustment to make when you get into the postseason. That could really come back to haunt the Big East with Derek Coleman or Alonzo getting used to get certain playing time during the regular season, and now they got to make that adjustment, the coaches.
John Saunders standing by to keep you updated on all the other happenings in college basketball at halftime.
Look at the action going on in a low post between Williams.
Carolina likely to hold it for one last opportunity here with Jeff Denny running the point.
But Williams and Jefferson are really going at it. Here they spread the court. Georgetown backs away. Now they come back out. I think if you're Dean Smith, you've got to be happy to be going in at halftime only 4 down or maybe 2 down if you get a conversion here.
No question about it with the way this game has gone.
Oh, look at this. It could have been an offensive foul.
No call.
No call. Cannot believe that no call.
But Bryant has it with time running out. Ronnie Thompson. That's one for you, Dad.
Hey, Papa, I got to make my daddy a winner. There's Big John says, oh, I love it. You know what he loves? His other son, John, graduated from Princeton and got his degree from one of the finest schools in America. Here's young Ronnie. Mr. Thompson going to drill it. Says, my dad taught me how to shoot like that.
I believe Dad told him, if you want to play for me, you better make the most of the opportunity. And that pretty much sums up the feeling of Scott Williams and the Tar Heels. But they only trail by 7 in a game that Georgetown has dominated, John Saunders.
Thanks a lot, Tim and Dick. And the Georgetown Hoyas with a 7-point lead, and you have...
But then again, it could be better for North Carolina. They were to within 2 with a minute to play. And Dick Vitale, when you analyze this game, it goes back to what we mentioned at the top. Fast break points and winning with defense, and that's what Georgetown has done.
Well, it's amazing that North Carolina is only on a -7 when you think about the fact that they shot 31% because of the shot changing ability, not only the shot blocking ability of Georgetown. We'll take a look right now, an example of how Georgetown really changes shots. You watch this down inside. Right now, Kevin Madden, here's footsteps. He knows the big people are rotating over. There's an example of changing shots. And when you shoot 12 for 31, you are very lucky that you're only down 7. And you know what, Tim? If you think about Georgetown, we think about their running game, which is created off the missed shot as well. Georgetown does a great job of running the ball out, but we look at the statistics right here, and the statistics tell the story. Carolina 31%, Tim, But last year, for example, the opposition only shot 39% against Georgetown. That's been a trademark of John Thompson's
Well, the
team.
Tar Heels have to be thinking about getting the Hoyas into that half-court offense. They haven't been able to do it simply because the fast break has been so good off that defense that we've mentioned. Here's yet another example of what we're talking about.
Well, the transition game. We take a look at Georgetown, and we watch Mutombo get it out to Bryant. Bryant runs it up. 3 stages of the running game: possession, penetration, and then conversion. And Tillman did a great job converting in the first half. He has become flat out a big-time scorer and an explosive scorer. Jimmy Beehive, you better get your cue ready for some pressure, baby, because that pressure is going to be tough. Hey, maybe they ought to get John Saunders down here to shoot the rock against Georgetown.
Statistically now, there you see the real story from the floor. 20 of 42 for the Hoyas, 12 for 39 for Carolina. The rebounds relatively even, turnovers even, and 21 players have been on the floor. Really the reason we haven't seen Alonzo Mourning is simply due to the fact that he got 2 fouls, and this is the way John Thompson coaches December basketball.
Well, he wanted to protect him for the second half. I think I said earlier 12 for 31. It was 12 for 39. I'm not too good a reader, Ted.
All right, we're looking forward to the second half. Remember, the ACC leads 4-3 in this ACC Big East Challenge. The Hoyas would love to knock this one up. And the Heels from East Rutherford, New Jersey, Brendan Byrne Arena. Tim Brando along with Dick Vitale. We're ready to start the second half. So get your motor running because the Hoyas and the Heels certainly will. The scoring leaders in this game, Tillman with 14. Clearly the leader of this Georgetown team. Mutombo and Mourning not as much a factor as you'd think. Lynch certainly the star of the game for North Carolina coming off the bench. And you do not see King Rice up there at all.
Well, you know, you think about Lynch. Lynch provided a real spark because of his aggressive play. I've always really felt that big people will progress a little more than little people. And Mutombo has really, really improved as a player. Felton Spencer, to me, is probably the most improved player in the nation with Louisville, a big 7-1 player. But I'll tell you what, Mutombo isn't going to be too far behind before this season is over.
The challenge is here clearly for King Rice. 0 for 4 from the floor in the first half. He must have a much better second half if North Carolina is to make a serious run. Foul, Tillman in position to pick it up, and/or Mourning. It was Tillman that got the foul.
We've often said that the first 4 minutes in the second half are crucial. The game is played in certain spurts, or certain minutes become vital. And right now to North Carolina, they cannot afford to have Georgetown get a typical Georgetown spurt in the next 4 minutes here to start the second half.
The lob for Fox.
Pretty tough to run that play. Ran a back screen, tried to clear out the side for the lob pass to Fox. Really tough to run that.
The last play of this half, critical for Ronnie Thompson.
Some controversy. That should have been a deuce. That should have been a deuce. No way is that a trifecta. They gave him a 3-point shot on that play. No, 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 no. 3 guys covering the floor, 3 top officials. They missed that, baby. We got 3 good ones on the game.
You bet.
Lockerty, Crowley,
Fox.
Johnny Gray.
And we've got another block inside against Mutombo. You know, I think sometimes the officials, and this is not to be defending them, Dick, but this is a parquet floor. You have the NBA line, you have the NCAA line, and many times on a parquet floor, it's even more difficult to discern. There you see it, the white line for the NBA and the red line for college basketball.
So many lines, but an official should be designated to be looking for that.
Yeah.
That should be a responsibility.
No, there's no question. They still missed it and shouldn't have. But the parquet floor is something new here. Was here a year ago.
Keep in mind now, if this becomes a 1-point game, that could become a vital, vital miss.
Fox well below his season average. Both he and Rice have to step up their play a notch here in the second half.
North Carolina trying to get into one of their traps. I don't believe they possess the speed. To John Thompson.
Oh, he's all over Clockerty.
He's out of the box.
And he got a tee.
He's out of the box. You got to nail him with a tee.
Well, he was joking with Mickey Crowley in the first half. He's not joking now.
Steps out of that box. It's got to be a technical immediately. 2 shots. Possession of the ball. could turn this game around. Write the score down in a time right now with a technical. 42-37. 19-10 on the clock. See if this turns it around.
Only 50 seconds deep into the second half. Georgetown's committed 17 team fouls. North Carolina 4.
It's amazing. King Rice shooting the technicals. There's the touch. Had some big free throws to beat Duke in the ACC championship. You look at the North Carolina team and you don't believe that they have the kind of quickness that can go out and trap against a quick team like Georgetown. They got away with one right there.
42-38. Critical possession here to take advantage of that technical. And Williams is working over Mutombo. Got him airborne.
Oh, scored a basket.
No
scored
call.
a basket. Definite interference, Tim.
Bryant with hang time.
Oh, Dwayne Bryant and Mark Tillman. The BT gang is going to light him up for the Hoyas.
Chilcutt airborne. Now Madden takes it up, and Williams is fouled by Mutombo.
Madden didn't need that bounce to the floor. Could have taken the ball straight up to the goal. I know I'm looking at this with one eye, Tim, and it's my bad side. It's my left side. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's no doubt in my mind that is interference right there. Two big plays this trio have missed. The three-point shot. They had doubt about it because they came over and asked us at halftime, and we had not seen the play, and we were kind of far from the action initially. But they're certainly in the replay. Our guys got it.
Well, that proves they're human. Dikembe Mutombo with the third personal foul. Officials expressed concern because they too are critical of themselves.
Well, John Clarkerty certainly and Mickey Crowley have experienced two of the top-notch guys in the business. Donnie Gray is new on a block and does a solid job. Works both the Big East and the ACC.
Tar Heel bench needs to provide more scoring as well. Georgetown clearly getting more offensive productivity from its bench than Carolina. It's a 4-point lead for Georgetown. Jefferson loses it.
I am really surprised that they're able to get away pressuring Georgetown, and have only done it in 2 possessions, but the 2 possessions they've created a turnover because Carolina doesn't have good team speed.
Oh, Williams was free, and Chilcutt didn't see him. Bryant with the bounce pass to Tillman. Count it, and the foul. It is a block against King Rice.
What a tremendous play by Dwayne Bryant. Just ran a tremendous clinic. Looked for his open teammate, threw the bounce pass. He took it to the gut of the defense, went right down the lane and made the conversion. Watch the steal right here. First of all, we see the great defensive play by Bryant. Now watch the great play right here, the bounce pass. Oh, an excellent play by Dwayne Bryant. There's his buddy Tillman. He converts, he finishes, he finalizes.
That's the first Hoya trip to the free throw line. 47-40.
You want to score at least 60% of your turnover situations.
Secondary break to Scott Williams.
Scott Williams impressing some of the pro people out of here, and they're gathered here.
That was vintage Dean Smith fast break basketball.
Yeah, they like to run the ball out right after a score.
Now Scott Williams looks for an outlet.
He's very mobile, agile.
Rick Fox with a step on Tillman. Blocked by Alonzo. Another for rejection roll.
Alonzo, the
good no-look pass from Rice into Manning, but he's in with the trees and makes it count.
Good power move by Manning along the baseline. He's a strong upper body, good post player.
47. The scoreboard reads 47-44. We'll clear it up for you when we return to Brendan Byrne Arena. North Carolina, Tim Brando with Dick Vitale, the ACC Big East Challenge, culminating here with the top seeds in the Brendan Byrne Arena.
King Rice playing some tough defense on that basketball.
Bryant, oh, what a roll and what a spin move.
That's just out on the playgrounds, one-on-one, because right there in that situation, Rice played him as tough as you can play him.
From De La Salle High School in New Orleans, Louisiana, and Lynch, airborne, and the foul on Scott Williams, a push now in the paint.
Dean Smith, we've documented so many times his record, gold medal, NCAA championship, NIT championship. string of better than 27 wins over the last 10 years. Just an amazing record in North Carolina. Stability.
Bryant is free. He drops it through for the deuce.
I like that perimeter game. They got good balance, perimeter inside. They don't get back quick enough, though.
And Lynch will make you pay.
Hey, Lynch's confidence has to soar after what he's doing out here tonight.
Well, it's his coming out party. The freshman from Roanoke, and now another turnover. And a turnover for Tillman, right back.
What speed and quickness in Tillman.
He was out of bounds, Dick, just on the inline after making that steal, or re-steal in this case, from Rick Fox.
Fox never really had control of the dribble, Tim.
George Lynch, by the way, with 13 points. That's a career and season high. And Williams just nailed his own player.
He got hurt on a play,
After
too.
the hoop, he gave an elbow to Fox. Well, it's tough enough when you're playing Georgetown for a Tar Heel to be healed by one of his own.
Scott Williams did a great job in the lane, sealing off the defense. He's been very impressive tonight. Very quick inside, 6'10" player. He got a good game right here.
Williams has yet another turnover. Georgetown having trouble. Madden. Mutombo now nails Williams.
No foul call. It certainly wasn't intentional. Was not intentional.
Tillman is free. Mourning.
Yes. Oh!
The foul on Lynch.
That's a monster mash, baby. That's a monster jam. He dropped it to the deck to get a little bit more power, and he exploded to the basket.
Dean Smith just turned to his assistant, Bill Guthridge, and asked him just how tough was that elbow, and he said, too tough. And you can see the scowl on Dean.
Georgetown really having problems with North Carolina's pressure defensively, and that really surprises me with the good perimeter players they have. I would think that they'd be able, with their quickness, get open layups against the trap.
Mourning 0 for 1 from the line now. Not the offensive factor we thought he might be.
See, there's the trail man in a transition game.
Fox is loose. And again, a Tar Heel and a Hoya on the deck.
Getting very physical inside.
Bryant. Mourning!
Oh, Alonzo. It's Alonzo time. Up and away. Look at him, look at him. From Indian River. He says, no problem. No problem. I got it under control. I'm the Supreme Court Justice. I rule the court. Here he is, the trail man. Bryant shoots the jumper, and Georgetown lives off this. There's a nice play. How would you like that in your playbook? The missed shot, Jam City.
Rice lost it off the dribble again.
Here they come.
Bryant. Alonzo and Williams, arm in arm. This time Scott Williams wins. And a foul, a reach, Dwayne Bryant.
Do you know Georgetown did not shoot a free throw in the first half? North Carolina only committed 4 fouls, 3 by Fox.
There's Patrick, and I believe, is that Spike Lee?
That's Spike Lee,
Yeah.
Yes it is. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. Talk to Patrick at halftime, and I'll flat out believe this right now. He's the best center in basketball. I mean, I know Akeem the Dream Olajuwon's outstanding, but to me right now, there is no one better in the lane than Mr. Ewing. And there's a fair guy sitting across from him by the name of Bill Russell.
Hubert Davis with a 3.
He was 1 for 9 against Missouri, but he is definitely, potentially an outstanding three-point shooter.
55-51 the score.
Walter Davis's cousin.
Tillman is loose for 3.
I like that backcourt, Tim. They blend so well together, Bryant and Tillman.
Mark has 20 points now. 58-51 Georgetown. Oh, you look one way and the pass goes the other. Davis and Lynch now, these are 2 freshmen. It'll take time. Actually, Davis a sophomore, and Lynch just getting into the flow, and Scott Williams re-enters the game. See, that's the difference, Dick, in a December game between these 2 teams and a March game between these 2.
Well, I think it's really great that they're playing here. I think we got to say hats off to Gene Corrigan and Dave Gavitt for creating this show all week long, because it's been an outstanding show for the fans.
Mourning!
Uh-oh! He's just taking over, Tim. He's just becoming a man on the inside, a man possessed.
Alonzo now with 10.
Getting out of Duncan Derby.
Milton Bell looking for the steal. Fox kicks it back out to King Rice. That's what's missing, and he's clearly shook.
That's one of his liabilities, shooting the perimeter shot. Look at that chant, little air ball chant.
0 for 5 from the floor for King Rice. Runs into the pick from Allen. Edwards. And it won't drop. Out of bounds to Carolina.
You think about the ACC, certainly Duke has an outstanding team. They really took that game to the wire. If Christian Laettner doesn't miss those 2 free throws, who knows what might have happened. But basically, you think of the ACC, North Carolina State's coming on strong, and they're playing without Avi Lester, but they've developed a Tom Gugliotta. There's a foul.
Anthony Allen with a little hand check of Pete Chilcutt.
It's going to be a wide open race in the ACC, a lot of balance. Where I see in the Big East, it looks to me, Georgetown and Syracuse and everybody else playing for number 3.
Dwayne Bryant coming back into the game. Dean Smith is talking with King Rice right now, trying to bolster his confidence. You expected, I know we spoke about it prior to the game, that Carolina might give Georgetown all they wanted and then some, though they had not been impressive lately. Davis's shot won't fall, and Williams loses it, and Georgetown gets it back.
See, I think Georgetown has great balance. They have baseline balance with perimeter balance, and I think when you have that kind of team and blend that kind of club, you got a better chance of going far, especially at postseason time, than a team that relies so much just on athletes and a front court play. And that's what the analogy I'd make between Syracuse and Georgetown, and give the slightest edge to Georgetown. Slight.
Bryant, loose. Madden recovers it.
Swing the ball side to side and try maybe to pop Davis for a perimeter 3.
Well, they haven't lost anything defensively, these Hoyas, when Edwards has been in the game, checking Rice, have they? Bryant with the loose ball. It's a 3-on-2. Milton Bell off balance, but it counts.
Bell contributing off the bench. The one thing about Georgetown, and just go back to the Patrick Ewing era, stats, statistics, rebounding totals are all immaterial. I mean, you look at Alonzo Mourning, he's not going to have great numbers, but who would you want to take on the inside? And the same when Patrick Ewing played, and that's the John Thompson system. Win, play as a team.
Hoyas by 11, their largest lead, and Davis is fouled by Anthony Allen. North Carolina had been to within 2 here in this half after trailing by 7 at halftime, and Ronnie Thompson will come in along with Dikembe Mutombo, and Dwayne Bryant and Anthony Allen sit down, and George Lynch re-enters the game for North Carolina, and Pete Chilcutt to sit down.
Georgetown's had some great teams. When you think of the John Thompson era, 82, they had a tremendous team that lined up and certainly was a dominant club, losing that Heartbreak City championship to North Carolina. 84, the year they won the national championship with Stretch Graham and Ewing and that entire gang with Jackson in the backcourt and Billy Martin and Freddie Brown. They were a great team. 85, they had another tremendous team with the Wingates and the Reggie Williams and the Ewings. I think their 85 team that lost to Villanova was the best team that John Thompson had. And they just ran into an unbelievable performance by Eddie Pinckney and the Villanova kids. But John has had year in and year out one top-notch club.
Davis converts, and Fox will come back into the game for North Carolina. It's a 9-point lead, and as dominant and as exciting and as spectacular on any given play that Georgetown might be,
they're still in the game.
North Carolina's still in it, and that typifies Dean Smith's team.
Carolina's zoning right now.
The one thing they have done is keep Alonzo Mourning from consistently being an offensive force. He has had the great slams in this half, but
well, he had that one spurt with the 3 jams, which really gave him that confidence and gave him a tremendous lift.
Thompson rejected by Madden.
Give it up and get it back.
Gave it up late, but Denny puts it in.
He gave it up. Should have given it up a little sooner and got it right back and taken it to the goal, but Denny did convert it. He's a good shooter. He's got a nice touch.
62-55, 11:35 and counting from Brendan Byrne Arena. I'm Tim Brando with Dick Vitale. The ACC Big East Challenge. The ACC leading 4 games to 3. Virginia winning earlier tonight.
The missed shot is really dangerous. Now, if this one comes off the rim, it's dangerous.
Edwards puts it in.
He just knows how to score. Edwards is a point guard with scoring mentality.
I'm impressed with him defensively, Coach.
Oh, he's really quick. He puts a lot of pressure on the ball.
There's Fox running the baseline to Williams.
Nice pass by Fox. Excellent inside pass. Scott Williams certainly playing a solid game on the interior. Good interior passing. High percentage shots, typical of North Carolina, year in and year out in the top 5 in the nation. Field goal percentage. I smell another Carolina run. I really do. I smell another North Carolina run to make this a little bit interesting.
64-57, the Hoyas. This is clearly the reason why it's a standoff between those two.
Well, Scott Williams doing a solid job inside. They're really not playing head-to-head throughout the entire game. There's been a lot of changing defenses.
And changing players. Dikembe Mutombo is on Mourning's side, and that is a clear advantage to Georgetown.
Georgetown showing some patience, trying to get some good spacing offensively.
Antoine Stoudemire finds Tillman, who buries the tray.
Get ready, Big East. Mark Tillman is back, big-time style.
Lynch down on the blocks with Allen in front of him, burying it. As you look at some scores from the NHL, Sports Center to follow. And, of course, Charlie Steiner is in Las Vegas.
I'll tell you one thing, Lynch doesn't look like a freshman.
No, he doesn't.
He's growing up really quick.
67-59, the Hoyas. There's a turnover, and the Tar Heels get it back.
Well, now they have to take advantage of the turnover and create a score.
King Rice coming back in, and Jeff Denny shakes his hand. He spent some time over there on the sidelines, and he clearly needs something good to happen to him on the court as Scott Williams sits down. Number 21 back in the game.
But he is their catalyst. He's their important guard. He's their leader. He's the guy that has to make things happen for this basketball team. He's not there to score, Tim. He's there to get everybody else involved in the offense. There's that famed passing game. Kansas runs it to perfection.
Fox, boy, those quick hands. Tillman just strips him.
Tillman and Bryant just keep bothering, aggravating you all the time.
Bryant, too strong. Dikembe Mutombo skying, and Davis with some quick hands of his own for North Carolina.
There's the trail man, Chilcutt now. They swing it side to side, pass and go away.
Fox, the cutter in the paint.
He's got to make that count. Wide open, 12-footer, little screen away, popped off to the foul line, wide open.
That's the inconsistent part of his game so far this year. He's had it from time to time and then lost it. A native of the Bahamas, he went to Indiana as an exchange student and wound up playing basketball for North Carolina. Tillman with hang time off the glass.
He just knows how to score. He's got that perfect knack of knowing how to get free for the ball. Moves well without it or with it.
Lynch. Boy, a little give and go action with Chilcutt, and it's rejected again.
There's a foul in the back.
Right, Stoudemire reaching around Hubert Davis.
Lynch gets a taste of rejection city right here. He tastes, it wasn't like that in high school. I took that in high school. I scored. I want to make the Georgetown schedule out. Can I make their schedule out? Eliminate that Hawaii Loa Mia. They should play UNLV. Love to see them in that game. They should play Oklahoma instead of Oklahoma playing Angelo State. Sounds like my Uncle Angelo. They should play against teams like, we'll even give them a little easy one. We'll put them with Kentucky. I mean, they should play some of the giants. John Thompson could dictate his schedule. I don't see any sanity at all playing St. Leo's, Florida International, and those people. I really don't. I don't see anything gained by it, a program of the magnitude and quality of Georgetown. That's where John and I disagree, but he's bigger than that. I don't want to get him mad at me.
Well, he wins 30 games every year.
Well, nobody's going to deny that. That's why he has security in his job. He's the man. I mean, he doesn't have any fear at all, so he can go out and play against the big people. 69-61. Oh, yet another turnover. Give it back to the trailer. No.
Oh, he missed the jam.
Well, he was anticipating a defensive player rotating over, and it broke his concentration.
If you're Pete Chilcutt, you hope your team can convert this series, and they don't. Remember that play if this is a 4-point swing. Tillman rejected by Lynch.
Lynch has been a star for North Carolina. If we had to give an award out as a star, he will receive it here tonight for North Carolina.
In the lane, Tillman loses it, and Hubert Davis is on the run.
Oh, what perfect timing.
From Mourning to Mutombo, it just keeps on being knocked away.
Tim, when you go to bed at night, you dream about this. The opposition looking, thinking about playing Georgetown. You have to anticipate rejection roll, baby. They're going to be Jam City, USA down at Hoya Land. You talk about Jam City, USA. Go over to Louisville. Denny Crum has got back again. The Doctors of Dunk with Cornelius Holden, Everett Sullivan, with LeBradford Smith, and the biggest dunker of them all, Jerome Harmon.
Dwayne Bryant sitting down for Georgetown.
Talking to Mike Riley on his left, on my left, on his right. I like this guy right here in the foul line. He comes to play. Look at this, 15 points, 5 rebounds off the bench. A diaper dandy, a young freshman. I liked him last year in the high school all-star games. He played brilliantly, especially rebounding.
Georgetown, again, you'd think should be ahead by farther than this. It's only a 6-point game. Big pause up there for rejection road. 9 for Mutombo, 2 for Mourning.
He's starting to approach his all-time record. I believe he had 12 last year in one game with Mutombo. 9 shot blocks, 11 as a duo.
He only had 75 last year, which doesn't seem a lot because of what Alonzo did, but it was 4 more than the collective opposition that Georgetown had throughout the course of the entire year.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot because Mourning had 169, twice as many.
Ronnie Thompson is hacked by Kevin Madden.
Psychologically, what a plus that is for Georgetown to force people to shoot in the 30s constantly.
2 fouls now on Madden, the senior from Staunton, Virginia.
Tim, that's one of the most impressive stats, that Georgetown year in and year out keeps the opposition under 40% in a day and age when teams are shooting 50%.
King Rice now checking David Edwards for the Hoyas. And again, a nice smooth move inside. Down to Alonzo.
North Carolina wants to jump ball. Alternate possession goes back to Georgetown. Here's star Lenny Loran tonight. He's been on a year more than you and I all night long with that possession. I'm going to take that job.
Mourning.
There's Mourning.
Yes, and the foul.
Just making the important plays when they have to be made. Never really forcing any shots.
Every time Carolina gets to within 6 or maybe 4, Mourning does make that big play, whether it be a jam or a putback and get to the line. You're right. And here comes Dwayne Bryant back into the game, and Coach's son will take a seat. He has the same fists up as dear old dad.
Well, he's going to be a coach maybe down the road.
Yeah.
John hangs it up. He's going to say, Ronnie, this is your team, the Hoyas. Take them to the promised land. He's probably smarter than his dad, so no way do I want to coach. Go to Wall Street like his other son.
72-63. Hoyas lead back up to 9. We have 7:09 remaining here in the Brendan Byrne Arena. And Tillman was out of bounds as he stripped Madden. So North Carolina will keep it, and King Rice to trigger it in for the Tar Heels.
It just seems that North Carolina will not allow Georgetown to put the knockout punch on them and put them away.
Williams.
Nice
Good move.
That's a great move. That's an unbelievable drop step power move to the goal. Very agile, mobile. See, they won't allow him to knock him out.
That's the move that they say Mourning's been working on a bit more. Everyone says he can go to his right so well, he needs to go to his left a bit more often, and the Tar Heels get another steal.
Well, he telegraphed that pass. Oh,
Williams
nice
to
look.
Chilcutt.
Nice look. John might need a little TO, baby. I told you, I anticipate a little bit of a spurt by North Carolina.
It's down to 4. Edwards, oh, what a play.
I mean, you talk about having guts, and you talk about having really a lot of heart. Taking that ball in the lane, the team needs a big bucket, and the freshman goes driving down. Look at him playing defense on Rice now.
He's near his home, New York City, where he averaged 41, a New York City record. David Edwards. Williams working over Alonzo Mourning. And the foul on Mourning.
Oh, couldn't get a technical. He knocks that ball. Gotta be careful, Alonzo. Remember, Scott Williams coming off an appendix operation.
Donnie Gray made the call, and Alonzo looked right in his face.
Ooh, I don't know. I think maybe a little offensive foul right there. It looks like Williams leaned into Mourning. Hey, Scott got bumped in the face. Alonzo's such a personable kid when you get to know him. I got the chance to meet him at the Nike camp. I had the pleasure to speak there. And just really a real lovable kid who's really had some great coaching on the high school level from out of Chesapeake, Virginia.
Scott Williams now.
They can't afford to have Scott out of the game. He's going to the line.
Well, they have to get him back in.
Well,
he may have had something in his eye there, and they wanted to clear that up and clear the cobwebs as well. That'll shake you up when you run into Mourning.
Well, for the injured player, you could substitute the free thrower, but right now you want a guy like Scott on that line who's into the flow of the game and the rhythm of the game.
16 points and 9 rebounds for Williams.
And he's still really not into the great physical conditioning that they would like to see him, but they realize why, as we said, came back from surgery earlier in the season.
Well, it's been a career of comebacks for Scott Williams when you consider that surgery, the appendectomy, out only 15 days, and the doctors expected him to miss 3 weeks. And of course, one of the greatest spiritual comebacks of all time, losing both his mother and father in a well-documented tragedy within his family, a murder-suicide, and boy, that is very difficult to come back from.
I can't possibly understand or comprehend how a young man can handle that, but that's a tribute to the North Carolina family, which has totally adopted them, all their people down here, and poured out love like you couldn't believe to them.
74-68, a 6-point Georgetown lead.
Oh, big steal and turnover right here.
Madden fouled, and it does not roll in.
Did you see how Madden kept looking back, anticipating maybe, will it be Alonzo? Will it be Mutombo? He kept looking back rather than take the ball. The rule in basketball is never turn to look. Take the ball and go directly to the goal. And he should have taken that with authority and jammed that baby.
Dwayne Bryant now has 4 fouls. And although Edwards has played well, and we are early in the season, Ronnie Thompson will come into the game now for Georgetown. You do get the feeling that when Bryant is without Tillman, they lose a little of that fluidity offensively.
Yeah, but eventually they're going to have a nice rotation off their backcourt with the 3 quick players. And John has really given Edwards a lot of playing time here in a big game.
These are 2 teams that have had the success they've had this decade because of the system. And what you're seeing now are 2 great teams in their December systems.
System plus athletes plus coaching equals W. I like that formula. It's one of my chemistry formulas.
Again, only 1 of 2 at the line, and the Heels for years have been a fine free throw shooting team. They're having difficulty there tonight. Mourning. When you need it, go down to the baseline and give it to Alonzo. He has 15.
Intelligent possession right there. 2-man play. I believe that was set out by John Thompson when he called Edwards over to the side. He said, let's go right down inside to Alonzo. Get good post position.
Rice, they clear it out for Chilcutt on the baseline.
Chilcutt, steady player, nice touch.
Ronnie Thompson drives the baseline, and Lynch picks up the foul.
Interesting to see who John has on the floor now when we get down to winning time, the 5-minute mark and down. He has Edwards on the floor, his son, Lonnie.
Along with Tillman, Mutombo, and Mourning. And Scott Williams re-enters. George Lynch will sit. It may not be as true with John Thompson teams, but in recent years in the ACC, when North Carolina has had so many fine teams and yet not made it to the Final Four, there have been those critics of Dean Smith with respect to the system.
I can't understand how they can criticize when you look at his numbers. 10 years or 9 years in a row winning 27 or more games. Looking at John, and he's certainly got great numbers. Think about that, Tim. 27 wins a year, 9 consecutive years. Top 10 in the nation, 9 consecutive years. To the final 16 numerous times. They've been a dynasty. There's no doubt about it. And it's been all with C-L-A-S-S, class.
Well, while these heavyweights of college basketball are coming down to cases with 5 minutes remaining, Charlie Steiner is in Las Vegas, and he'll be documenting what goes on in the middleweight area with Uno Mas about to take place. Duran and Leonard are in the ring. We'll have an update for you. Edwards gets the foul, but not the hoop.
Edwards made a great defensive play to strip Williams down in the lane. North Carolina tried to have a little penetration by King Rice, dump it down to the box to Williams, and David Edwards really rotated over, made the quick steal. See, in high school, he must have been up and down the floor. Shoot the rock, baby, shoot the rock. Shake and bake, have everybody laying high fives.
Hubert Davis coming back into the game, number 40 for Carolina, and at the free throw line, North Carolina there 27 more times than Georgetown, but yeah, 71%, but you rarely see Carolina miss 9.
That's an amazing statistic when you think about the presence of Mourning on the floor, that they would only go to the free throw line 5 times versus 32. But Carolina, year in and year out, pounds the ball down to the inside.
A couple of statistics that usually ring true with Dean Smith. He normally gets to the free throw line more than the opposition, and he normally has more timeouts remaining in the last 2 minutes of a game than the opposition. 79-71, an 8-point Hoya lead. 4:43 and counting.
2 3-point shooters on the floor now, Denny and Hubert Davis.
Tillman lobbying for the charge, didn't get it from John Clougherty. Denny for 3, and Mutombo clears the rafters.
Mutombo learning with every moment. Has not had a lot of playing time, a lot of experience in college basketball.
Georgetown faithful on their feet before this capacity crowd. Alonzo lost it to Scott Williams.
He's still not comfortable catching the ball down in the box consistently. He's got to work on spreading his body a little more, but he'll be a heck of a player in that lane, a dominating player.
Davis works free, and Mourning clears it.
Good outlet. Now they're going to use some time, go for the high percentage shot.
Are you surprised King Rice is not on the floor with under 4 minutes to play?
He's coming in right now. Just give him a little blow.
Mutombo. It's a travel.
Walk-in violation.
.347 remaining. Georgetown still leading.
Sports Center right after the game. Uno Mas, Leonard, and Duran. We will have round-by-round reports. We will have pictures of the fight. Live from Las Vegas, Charlie Steiner anchoring our coverage out there. We'll talk with the fighters. Dan Patrick and I with Sports Center right after the game.
Bob Lee and Dan Patrick, we look forward to them. Along with Charlie Steiner, here we're at the Byrne Arena, an 8-point lead for Georgetown. I'm Tim Brando along with Dick Vitale, and you see in round 1, no meaningful punches thrown with Leonard and Duran, but the scoring went Sugar Ray's way, and we'll continually update you throughout the remainder of this game as to what's going on in Las Vegas. Scott Williams with the jump hook, well timed.
Every game has some key possessions, and right there was a key possession for North Carolina. Good conversion, set play by Dean Smith. 2-man play, go down into Williams.
79-73. Mourning, well, Scott Williams had to foul there or give up the dunk, one or the other.
Well, Georgetown clearing out the side to take away help and trying to get Mourning to the baseline side. See, right now they're clearing out the side. They're trying to get Mourning to the baseline side. Yeah, he's mugging them. I mean, that's the New York Times mugging. There's no doubt about it.
That's the 4th foul on Scott Williams. He'll just get a brief blow as George Lynch comes back into the game.
He's had a history of fouling. Barry Jacobs documents in his fine manual that Scott fouls at a rate of 1 point every 6.8 minutes.
Alonzo now with 16 points, 12 rebounds, 11 of his points in the second half. So I think the point we were making earlier about Carolina at least containing Alonzo, that point is about to fade away.
Well, you know, he didn't play a lot of minutes in that first half. He got the 2 fouls. John kept him out of the game as we look at Ronnie Thompson.
Thompson going back to the bench. Bryant, Edwards, Tillman, Mourning, and Mutombo on the floor for Georgetown. Carolina with Lynch, Madden, Rice, Chilcutt, and Davis, Hubert Davis.
Oh,
and a steal by Edwards.
He's been a pest all night long for North Carolina, the quick little player.
Well, he froze Chilcutt, and Tillman launches one. And Pete Chilcutt reclaims the rebound.
Chilcutt, a good position rebounder. Boy, I'll tell you, you talk about a vote of confidence. What confidence right now John Thompson's giving the little guy Edwards. Playing 3 guards right now with Bryant, Edwards, and Tillman. They're going to probably spread the court next possession.
Lynch, he can get high.
Oh, great head fake, good post-up ability. Throws the defensive player. George Lynch, special player. See, right now they're going with the 3 little guards. Quickness. They're going to try to force him to play
Edwards
one-on-one.
takes it down and gets it down, and the foul against Madden.
Hey, will somebody run over and tell Edwards, this is North Carolina, this is national television, this is a sellout crowd, this is not the streets of New York. He's a freshman, a little shake and bake. He says, come on, Lynch, Vital thinks you're a diaper dandy? Watch me take the rock to the goal against the big people. And he kisses it on a glass, convert it and score. Put it in your book, Mr. B.
Lynch got the foul rather than Madden. It could have been on either. And Leonard Duran round 2. Sugar Ray moving a bit more effectively. And Charlie Steiner will be effectively reporting on what's transpired in Las Vegas
I don't want to know
throughout the course of the evening.
2 rip-off cities for millions and millions of dollars, 2 has-beens, 2 washed-up guys. That's the old age home, that fight. Are you serious? People paying millions, people following it. I don't want to know nothing about it. That's almost as wacky as the baseball world with the contracts they're laying out. Let's look this. This is real sports.
83-75.
You gotta like Edwards, huh?
Oh, he's outstanding. And you're right, for him to be out there with who they have on the bench. Tillman, Fox fouled him, and very quickly some good sportsmanship as they paddle. He knew he had to foul.
John wanted the intentional foul.
There's the storyline, Brendan Byrne Arena. 55 backcourt points for the Hoyas. That's clear domination. And North Carolina getting to the line to stay in this game. And Scott Williams doing his best to keep his Tar Heels inside and effective inside.
Well, we talked about at the top of the show that North Carolina had the front court to challenge Georgetown, but we felt that the tremendous edge in the backcourt would be the difference, and certainly not trying to pat ourselves on the back, but in scouting and talking to all the people involved in the game of basketball in this game, certainly Georgetown's got the tremendous edge with their perimeter game.
And you really hate to put it on one player's back, Dick, but King Rice clearly has to step up his level of play as you move throughout the course of the season into January and February. No, he's not a prolific scorer, but you're talking about one of the most celebrated youngsters coming out of Binghamton High School in Binghamton, New York, and so far it just hasn't happened for him.
Well, maybe he's playing up to his level of ability. Maybe he was a little overrated out of high school.
Denny for 3. Madden Stein with position over Mutombo and Mourning, knocked away by Bryant. Speed and quickness with the guards from the backside, and Mutombo and Mourning facing your front side. That's incredible.
They just got so many good athletes, quickness, size. They got a man they believe on the sideline, confidence in their winning system.
Edwards with a freshman mistake.
He's an active kind of player. Look at him. I think he still maybe wants John to take him out, get a nice little ovation from the crowd. He's gaining acceptance.
King Rice coming back in. Denny to sit down.
I think King Rice is a lot better than people give him credit to be, Tim, but I think you're right. Everybody relates King Rice to where he was, where all the acclaim he received in high school, and it's so difficult for him to live up to that kind of notoriety and publicity that he received.
Well, when Jeff Lebo was injured last year, he helped lead the Heels to that victory over Duke when they were #1, and people remember that day.
Well, he played brilliantly that day. Really had an outstanding game. Played well in the ACC tournament. Had some good games for them over in Maui.
That game really helped the Blue Devils get on a bit of the skids the second half of the ACC season that brought Carolina back up to the forefront in the ACC.
I like that Duke basketball team. They got a big date this week, though, with Michigan. That'll be an interesting matchup. North Carolina's got Iowa. And who does Georgetown get? They don't go back to Lowen's, Mia's, and Myers, do they?
85-77. And a foul. And it's King Rice that picks it up. In the third round, Leonard leading in points right now in Las Vegas. And King Rice, with his second foul, goes back to the bench.
Well, Georgetown's got 3 toughies coming up. They got Rice. Certainly that's a program that's, you know, on the move, and it's a Division I. I don't call that a cupcake. Scott Thompson doing a great job. Then they got 2 toughies coming up with St. Leo and UDC, University of District of Columbia. No way. No way should Georgetown be playing it. The kids don't want it. Fans don't want it. The one-man rules on the sideline, and I just think that when you really look at that season schedule, I just begin to shake. Now, I played cupcakes. There's no question when I coached. But we were at Detroit, and we were a cupcake for a lot of people, and we didn't have a chance to pick who we want to play. Georgetown could pick up the phone and schedule who they want.
Davis with a 3, off balance, and with a 10-point deficit, Carolina had to have that. It's 87-80 with 1:45 remaining. Stay with us. We'll be back to Brendan Byrne. Tim Brando and Dick Vitale back at the ACC Big East Challenge, an entertaining week of December baskets on ESPN. Your home for college basketball. Georgetown with a 7-point lead after the 3-pointer for Davis, and an open Ronnie Thompson all alone.
They set that up well coached, well drilled, set up during the timeout, breaking the pressure.
The coach's son has 11.
He's done a great job off the bench. Plays with a lot of emotion, plays defense.
He better play defense. Davis, too strong, and the foul. George Lynch may have picked it up.
They're going to have a big, big year again in Georgetown basketball. It's going to take a special team to beat this basketball team.
Madden picked this one up rather than Lynch. It is his third. There's Craig Esherick along with Dikembe Mutombo on the sidelines, and King Rice goes back to the bench as the offensive-defensive substitutions come forward for North Carolina. And again, that's something we always see in Dean Smith basketball.
As we talked about earlier, John Thompson was an assistant to Dean in 1976 with the Olympic team. They have great respect for one another. John has said on numerous occasions that he's learned so much about basketball and putting a team together from being associated with Dean Smith.
Well, in asking Dean Smith as to why he wouldn't play Thompson since the '82 game in New Orleans, his simple answer is this: look, I love talking basketball with John Thompson, and you don't want to play against a guy that you enjoy sharing your knowledge of basketball with. And of course, if he were to go to Kansas and play Roy Williams, he wouldn't like that, nor would he like going to play Eddie Fogler down in Nashville, 2 assistants that he has great respect for. 91-80, equaling the largest lead of the game for Georgetown, and chalk another one up for Alonzo.
Yeah, but see, he doesn't have to talk to him after blocking the shot. You don't need that. Alonzo makes the great shot block. There it is right now. He goes out, he checks him, he puts it away, and he turns and lets him know about it. Lets him know about it. About had a pep talk tonight from Patrick Ewing.
Foul against Tillman. Well, you could make an argument as Tillman picks up his 4th. That's an example of Alonzo Mourning enjoying the game, playing the game the style John Thompson preaches. But if you're an observer watching the game, if you're a fan, it's very easy to target an Alonzo Mourning making that kind of face to the opposition as being a hot dog.
Well, that was just an emotional reaction.
Exactly.
Alonzo's a beautiful kid. He really is. I'll tell you one thing. I'm really awed with the backcourt play of Georgetown. They got a fine trio now with Edwards, Tillman, and Bryant. We knew about their front court presence. I love the Gill-Bardo combination with Illinois. They're probably the best rebounding guard complement in America. And then you got to like the penetration of Corciani and the scoring ability of Monroe. Down in Arkansas, Nolan Richardson's got a dandy one with Lee Mayberry and Todd Day.
Fox picks up the foul.
Now here's where I talked about earlier, where the officials have to now utilize judgment as to whether the foul was premeditated.
An update on Leonard Duran coming up on SportsCenter with Bob Lee and Dan Patrick. And the Major League Baseball winter meetings will be reported on again as Trader Jack and the boys have been busy in baseball, and Chris Myers and Peter Gammons are there.
I want to be the TV critic right now and give an analysis of my guy, John Saunders. John, I give you a 5-star rating. You've done a beautiful job all week long. You've entertained me in my hotel. You've done a great job. I'm going to lay out some 5 stars for the ESPN crew. Peter Gammons doing a great job. Bob Lee, Charlie Steiner. Hey, why can't I lay some 5s on?
Brian at the line.
There's no strategy right now. This game is history, academic. Put it away, tuck it away. It's in the W book for the Hoyas.
Denny. Jumper won't fall from deep. Kenny Harris trying to hit one.
I can hear some people saying, wait a minute, what about James Madison? What about a 9-point lead with 1:12?
Davis picking up the foul.
James Madison's got some kind of team with Steve Hood. He'll be a member of my all Marco Polos. Traveling guy from Maryland, now playing for left-hander will win his 23, 24 games this year. And the Electric Zoo will be rocking and rolling down at James Madison.
Well, you can put this way, in Alonzo Mourning, you see talking there with Mickey Crowley and smiling, enjoying himself. He's just an expressive youngster, Dick. I mean, this is a guy, you're right. He's having fun and he's playing the game with intensity his way. And right now, he and Mutombo are the difference in this basketball game.
Hey, if I can do my job and do my job as well as he does his job, you'd have a lot of fun too. I mean, I'd have a lot of fun if he had his, his ability. They get me all confused when they bring this up here. Look at this here.
Duran becoming a little more aggressive, but Leonard's still leading in rounds as we move into the 5th round. Everyone's expecting that one to go the distance and Sugar Ray to outpoint Roberto Duran.
And then the beat goes on, and Tommy Hearns fights the winner, and it's another multi-million-dollar show.
Long pass to Chilcutt. Harris rejected by Alonzo. He's trying to catch up with Dikembe. He had 2 earlier. That's up to 5 now for Mourning, and Mutombo had 9 at last report.
Some guys love to stroke the jumper. Chris Jackson loves to drive the jumper. He loves to block a shot. Look at him. Look, he wants more. He bothered that shot.
It's interesting. The last time these 2 teams played.
Little Shoba.
Yep.
Oh, little hot dog time. I like it though. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Streets of New York, baby.
Move over, Marcus Haynes.
Oh.
David Edwards is around.
Handle the rock. Look at David handle the rock. Pizzazz.
John's already beginning his celebration on the sidelines. The Georgetown Hoyas, it'll be difficult for Syracuse when they take on John's team. Dean Smith goes down, 2 great friends, and the ACC Big East Challenge ends in a tie. Dick Vitale, my pleasure. Let's go back to John Saunders.
Thanks a lot, Tim and Dick. Another great game, 93-81. A star is born in freshman David Edwards of Georgetown, and the series ends in a 4-4.